Yo, what is going on YouTube? It is your boy GZTV back with another video, and in this video we are here to talk about the man that finally dropped. Kanye West comes out with Vultures 1. We're just going to do a little bit of a review, kind of go track by track, discuss this thing. I was going to do like a live reaction, but he didn't really drop it on time necessarily. So yeah, it's just crazy to think that this album is out. And it came out at a super random time that's pretty characteristic of Kanye. I hardly listened to any snippets going into this. It was a fresh listen. It was super exciting. One of the most exciting listening experiences I've had in a while, probably since Drake's album, honestly. This is huge for Ty Dolla as well, by the way. Not that he wasn't like a huge artist before, but having an album with Kanye West after working with him for so many years, finally getting that collab album is super awesome. It has to be an amazing feeling. There's hidden features on this, so it was also super fun in that aspect. Um, the album cover is obviously a little questionable. I'm not really sure about it. JPEG Mafia also had some producer credit on here, so that is super sick. I don't necessarily remember what songs he produced, but yeah, let's get track by track. I'm going to give a general review, and then we're out of here. Well, we obviously had to censor that out of respect for Kanye's girl, even though Kanye doesn't even seem to respect her himself. But getting into track one, we have Stars. It starts off with a really dope choir, super sick drums. I mean, there's a lot of characteristics that kind of carry throughout the album. Kanye keeps a somewhat consistent sound here. Definitely recalling to some of his older albums too. But super high pitch. There's really sick high pitched vocals at a point in the track. Super incredible way to open up an album. This is easily one of my favorites on the album. So yeah, really cool track here. Let's move on. Track two is Keys to My Life, and I'm not gonna list some of the features. Well, I'll acknowledge them, but I'm not gonna put featured on the track. So we have Keys to My Life at track two. Super interesting vocals on here. The drums on here are kind of like the drums he used on Easy. The song he did with. Who did he do that song with? Was it YG or Pusha T? Pusha T, right? I don't remember. Pusha T. I don't know. It was somebody. The Game. What am I talking about? It was The Game. Super solid song here. India Love. I'm pretty sure that was Lil Durk's girl, right? I didn't even know she was a singer or whatever, but she was on this. Um, Definitely another one of the highlights on the album. I don't think every song is good. I'm not here to dick ride this album or anything, but this is another one of those songs on here. At track three, we have Paid. At the beginning, it had some Sam Smith sounding vocals. I don't know what it was about that. Did they sample something? I don't know. This song was interesting, but I'm not sure if I like the whole super bouncy beats out of Kanye here. It sounds a little too commercial, a little too generic at times, But the melodies and stuff were catchy enough to kind of make up for that. I don't know what the hell Kanye was doing at a point in this track. This definitely isn't one of my favorites. He had kind of Lil Keyed type vocal inflections. Apparently there was a Jodeci sample on here as well. I don't know. It was cool. I mean, some of these tracks over time obviously are going to grow on me. I mean, I did this review later than most album reviews on my channel, but again, the album's only been out for 3 days, so yeah. At track four, we have Talking, which was a single, but I didn't really talk about it on the channel much, so I figured I'd go back and re-listen to it. Northwest, in her musical debut, went kind of crazy here. Dope beat too. Again, I don't like the bouncy type of stuff, but he experimented with that a little bit on Donda, but it's pretty catchy for sure. The samples kind of colliding with each other, and Northwest part is as crazy as it sounds, is super catchy. Ty Dolla the way he enters this track is just amazing as well. The chopped vocals are extremely cool. Where he's like, oh man, that's so sick. Super crazy production. James Blake had some background vocals on here, by the way, which no one's talking about, obviously. So that's also a cool little detail. And this was like a two-part track, but now it's just called Talking, I guess. Interesting. And because of said nasally conditions, I have TP in the background. It's not what it looks like. But getting into the next track, track 5 is Back to Me. This is probably song of the year so far. This is definitely like one of my favorites on the album, if not my favorite. The beat is incredible. The sample is hilarious, obviously from Dogma.
You can't just go around breaking people's hearts like that. I fell in love with you. We fell in love with you. Guys like us just don't follow the fucking sky, you know? Beautiful, naked, big-titted women just don't follow the sky, you know?
Freddie Gibbs was on here. Obviously, Freddie Gibbs was rumored to be working with Kanye for a while. I mean, that was a collab I feel like had to have happened eventually. But yeah, this is an incredible song. I don't really know what else to say. Ty Dolla had a great chorus. You know, you get Kanye's part. Everything just kind of meshes together perfectly here. So yeah, great song. Let's move on. At track number 6, we have Hood Rat. This isn't one of my favorites on the album. This is another one kind of like Paid, where it's okay. I mean, it's definitely grown on me a little bit, but Hood Rat references Runaway, you know about the Hood Rats, Mike Tyson made an appearance on the outro, which is funny because I think he was talking kind of negatively about Kanye. I'm not really sure, but yeah. I don't really have much to say about this song, honestly. It's cool. I mean, the sample repeats itself and it's super annoying at times, but the beat itself is pretty dope. I don't know. Next track is Do It. Pretty hard track here. R.I.P. to Nipsey Hussle. He was on the intro. Just a constant reminder of how legendary he was for the West Coast. This was where the buying your bitch a bitch line came in, and that was kind of crazy, and a lot of people were raving on Twitter about that. And you also get YG on this track, so that's pretty cool as well. Just kind of a West Coast slapper, paying homage to that area. And obviously, I think Ty Dolla is from, like, Cali, I think, so that's also cool. Maybe he had a say in that. Interesting track. It's cool. Next, we have Paperwork. It kind of reminds you of something that you would hear on Donda. It's a wild track. You get Quavo on here, so that's sick. This is where all like the weird DJs came from. He like sampled a bunch of stuff from the like DJ Rocco and a couple others. They were like hugging him, like super emotional after the listening party. Let me get my pay. It'll definitely like catch on to people for sure. This isn't another one of those where I'm like, it's not my favorite, but yeah, it's cool. Next track is Burn. This is one of the first songs they ever made for this album, so it's gonna be forever iconic. It's gonna forever hold a place for Kanye fans. Both artists do what they're good at. I mean, Kanye just has a complete throwback to like '05 Ye here, so it's pretty fantastic. Bodies like the Wild Wild West. That's sick, man. I mean, so many different sounds on this album. It's really cool to hear. Burn is another one of those ones, man. Next is Fuck Some. This is one of the most like iconic tracks that we heard at listening parties, snippets, all this stuff. This song was everywhere going into this rollout. Super exciting time. That this made the album. Obviously, it's crazy because he left a lot of songs off the album, most notably Everybody with Charlie Wilson. But yeah, the bass is absolutely insane. I didn't realize how crazy the bass was. Cardi, he enters with the dark voice. It's so tough, man. This makes you super excited for a new Cardi album, which is hopefully dropping like the next month. I mean, I can't be too hopeful about that, but I don't know. It'd be super cool to get music in the next month. And stuff like this just builds up hype for his album and makes people excited. So, yeah, Cardi did his thing on both of his features, which we'll get to the other one here soon. Next track is the title track, Vultures. We all know the song inside and out. It's been out for a while. He's released different versions, threw the Lil Durk's verse off it, put him back on, all this crap. There's really no point of talking about it too much, though. There's like a little 3 6 Mafia thing going on there, but I don't know, man. It is what it is. The Havoc version's really good, by the way, with Lil Durk on it as well. Next track is possibly like the best track on the album, and it like doesn't seem like there's much of a debate there. We have Carnival. Yeah, you listen to the start and you're like, oh shit, what are we about to get into? You hear the Sia from Cardi. Yeah, I low key missed Rich the Kid though. This is a huge moment for his career. I don't think this is like a comeback for him per se. He can't really come back in one song necessarily, but I still think it's crazy to hear him on a Kanye West record. Kanye is super real for this as well, in all honesty. The Hell of a Life sample was super sick when Kanye's verse came on and you get that sample. This is, yeah, obviously one of the best songs on the album. Cardi went insane on his verse, and I think Travis was on here, right? Or no, he was on Fox Some, wasn't he? I kind of forgot to mention that, didn't I? Alright, cool. Next is Beg Forgiveness. Chris Brown's on here, and I feel like it's been a minute since he's been on a song with Kanye. It might have been since Life of St. Pablo, honestly. It's a pretty solid track, though. Beg Forgiveness is nice. It's not up to too much, but it's not a bad track at all. So, yeah, I mean, once you get past Carnival, I mean, there's definitely a couple good tracks, but I don't know. Next, we have Good Don't Die, a super interesting track with some cool vocals here. Donna Summers obviously had like a copyright infringement thing. There was a whole controversy behind it. But yeah, this is very 808s and Heartbreak type. So that's super interesting. Again, you know, kind of bringing back, I don't know, not bringing back his old sound, but like a bit reminiscent of it. It kind of reminds you of like the old Kanye, which is always great because old Kanye is probably one of the best rappers of all time. So yeah, dope track here with Good Don't Die. It's not like my favorite, but it's still really good. Next we have Problematic, crazy song with some great production. The soul samples, you know, old Kanye's back here. The morning after bar was hilarious and kind of wild again. Kanye will always take you on those rides with his albums. Yeah, Problematic was definitely some like college dropout type stuff. So again, especially later on in the track list, he definitely like reminds you of older Kanye. You know, Carnival even has like a Yeezus type of vibe. So yeah, Problematic, really dope song. Again, I don't have too much to say about it, but let's move on. Then he closes out the record with King. Kanye's just him for this. Like, you know, he's anti-Semite, he's crazy, he's bipolar, he's all of these things, but, you know, he says at the end of the day, he's still the king. And that's not far from the truth. I mean, Kanye's still going crazy. You know, his Yeezy stuff still sells out. Every time he drops something, I literally just copped the pods for $20. He made everything on his website $20, which was obviously like a super iconic part of the album rollout. But, yeah, man. Really dope song. Good way to close the album. Let's get into the review. So getting into like the generalities of this album, just generally speaking, Ye and Ty Dolla complement each other so well on here. I don't, and it also, just going back to the album cover, I don't know why her ass is out. I mean, obviously I blurred it because again, I don't want to, it's not like I'm monetized or anything, but I want to have a good rep for my channel. It's kind of wild that everybody wasn't on here. That song was a certified hit, had everyone going crazy on the internet. Yeah, it's crazy how Kanye comes up with new sounds every time as well. Obviously, there were songs that would remind you of older Kanye records, but he still somehow had some newer sounds and stuff we've never really heard Kanye do before. I really like Quavo's involvement here as well. That was super cool to see. And sampling your own song is just crazy and something that like only guys like Kanye can do. I love him referencing his old music throughout the album as well. You know, Hood Rat references My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Carnival kind of uses the same sound as Yeezus. You know, we kind of went over that as we went track by track. This album is cool. Definitely on the first listen. It at least met expectations at the end of the day. Like, even if I didn't like this album as much as a lot of Kanye D writers, it's not like it like went lower than my expectations. And honestly, if I keep listening to this album, I think it'll just keep upping the going over my expectations. But we'll see. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. I know that's a pretty weak review, but I don't know. You have to, like, I've kind of realized with, like, making reviews like this that you got to give music some time to kind of resonate with you, kind of marinate, soak it up. You know, that's the point. You don't just listen to an album the first time and call it album of the year. Like, that's really not how that works. But I'm out, guys. Peace.